Yeah.
Yeah?
That's amazing.
Alright, so we got really close to finishing the Powerwheels build last episode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if it's the first one you've seen, this is the car I'm talking about. There's a full playlist to get you caught up to speed on this episode, and you can go back and watch that and get caught up to see how we got to where we are now. But what we are doing now is final assembly. So we've got a few last parts that need to go on this car, a few things that need to be cut, a few things that need to be reworked in order for this car to be drivable, and at the end of this video, we're going to give it to my son, and hopefully he loves it. Now, he did say he wanted the car to be green.
Yeah, we need it green.
Green?
Yeah.
I think white.
I think I like it red and black and purple and blue and pink.
All the colors.
Yeah.
But I had white paint, so we painted it white. But I think he's still gonna like it a lot, and I think it came out pretty decent for what it is. So today we're kind of on a time crunch. We're gonna be jumping around to a bunch of different projects, but by the end of it, we should have a completed ride. Now, this is a Need for Speed Heat build. I'm building it based off of a render that I found of a Corvette done by Kaiser Salim of a Need for Speed Heat car. I figured since the game just came out, it'd be fitting to do a build for that game. So it's not sponsored or anything like that. I just love Need for Speed. It's a huge reason why I'm into cars. And so I felt like it would be fun to build a car inspired by that game. So what we have to do first, or what we're gonna start on first, is this spoiler. These pieces are all pieces of a spoiler that I designed in Fusion 360, and they should go together. Now, I've already done a little bit of test fitting, and these didn't work. So I'm printing more right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our wing decks together. I did say decks, there's two. Then we will work on doing the end plates a little bit later when they get done printing. I'm actually pretty pleased with that. So we have to trim this fender because the wheel actually doesn't come off with it on. So I knew that was going to be the case. We've got to come up kind of right around here. I'm going to get a dry erase marker and we'll draw our line out and then just cut it, and hopefully we do it right the first time and we can move on. Another issue we had is that the wheel sat out too far, so I printed these little spacer bearing kind of things. They're going to take our wheels and move them inwards so that we can turn them and this thing will actually be functional. Okay, so while we're waiting on those wheels to dry, I wanted to get back to this spoiler. I'm very excited about building this thing. I think it's gonna be a really cool piece. So far, everything has clicked together and has been like a pressure fit, and it's not coming apart. I don't think I'm gonna have to glue it. I got some super glue. We'll need it for part of the build, but I don't think we're gonna need it for this part. So you can see I already put this end plate on, and it looks really cool. So this one, we'll take off our little template, and we wanna make sure everything is pointed the right direction. So I think what I would do next time differently is leave some more space and then just use glue or something, because this is pretty nerve-wracking. Lots of popping. But not having to use glue is pretty cool. So we've got these two pieces, which are very cool, but there's something even cooler, in my opinion, about this design. And to achieve it, we are going to use this. This is some plexiglass kind of stuff, acrylic sheet that I got. It's like $3, and we're gonna use it to join these two spoilers together. So the outside, the big end plates right here. I'm printing some more of those right now, so they will go on in just a minute, I think. But I don't need those to do this next part. And now for the jigsaw. You guys that have been around for a while will know that I actually made a real chassis mount wing with these exact same tools, out of metal. Took forever to cut. Wilton actually sent me this vise and didn't ask me to like promote it or anything, but I literally would not have been able to build this car without this vise. If you're in the market for a vise, these things are great. These side skirts are rough to say the least, but I kind of have this concern that my son's going to step on them and break them like the first time he drives this thing, so I didn't want to put a ton of time into them. If they end up lasting, then I'll build another set that's a little bit better. What I imagine I'll end up doing is building some out of wood or metal so that he can actually step on them and it won't mess up the car. So my decals did not come in time for this last video, but this kind of looks terrible with the taillights. So I'm gonna at least make some taillights and get those filled in, and then when the decals get here, I'll replace all the decals, like my Corvette emblems, the scoops, the turn signals, all that cool stuff. So I went to my vinyl cutter and I cut these out. I designed them and cut them out. Hopefully they're the right size. I kind of guessed, did a few measurements. I think they're gonna be close enough. Hey, bud. Hey. Daddy finished your Corvette.
Whoa!
You gonna go look at it?
Yeah! Whoa!
I gotta put the new battery in it.
Put the battery in it.
And we gotta take it to Mimi's.
Huh?
We gotta take it to Mimi and Pop-Pop's.
I want to drive it for a while.
But we can't drive it here. Daddy made it too low. I gotta make it taller.
Don't you leave it up like this?
Well, I think it looks cool, but we can't drive it in the yard like that because it's too low.
Actually, we have those in here and we got at the tour.
What?
We actually have these in here and we got at the tour.
Yeah, you remember when we went and bought those for your wheels?
Yeah.
Did they look cool?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's amazing. Amazing.
If anybody was wondering, side skirts are strong enough. I'll get you. Let me get the car out first. Yeah, the Corvette. Oh. Okay. Here, let me get you set up. Hang on.
Goodness, that is so cool.
All right, see you first. Hey, what's the name of your Corvette?
Doug.
Doug the Corvette?
Yeah.
Doug. That's what he wanted to name him.
Doug. Dougie, 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 Doug. Doug!
Wrong way.